Oh, hold on. Yeah, thanks for tuning into a special edition of Steel City Sports. I'm your host, Luther Dupree. Got Smoker Jim Fraser in the house with me. Claudio supposed to be dialing in pretty soon, but until he gets here, it's gonna be me and Jim. So we always started off with our Steel City news. It's a live call-in show. Make sure you call the number 412-530-5063. And we got Claudio on. Claudio, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on? What's going on, guys? I'm pulling a Jim Fraser, no camera.
Yeah, right. It's just me on the screen right now. But how you feel, Claudio? You good?
Everything's good, thank God. Everything's good. How about you guys?
Oh man, everything's good except my foot. But
I know, that's right. I'm sorry to hear about that.
But I'll be all right, man. I'll be all right. Again, I'm going to tell the viewing audience, please check out the website, scsportsworld.com. A lot of exciting things going on this year. We want everybody to check us out. But we would have started off with our Steel City news. Claudio, what do you have for us?
The Hall of Good. No offense to Todd Helton and Joe Mauer, but come on. When you see those guys, they're not Hall of Famers. They were really good players. But, again, Dave Parker, Al Oliver, Luther, you said on the boxing show, the Boxing Authorities about, oh, my God, who was it? Bradley. Bradley got in. Now, that opens up the floodgates. Harold Baines getting in opens up the floodgates as far as Al Oliver. Dave Parker should be in. And the guys who were either connected to steroids or were caught, you've penalized them enough. You're actually hurting the Hall of Fame, if you ask me. Guys like whether they did or didn't do whatever, Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, McGuire, Palmeiro, those guys are Hall of Famers. Put them in. Anymore, it's become the Hall of Good. And I think maybe Jim would speak, maybe you guys would disagree. The football is even starting to get the Hall of Good. Hall of Fame should be the elite, and I don't think they voted them right this year.
Right. Hey, Lee just joined the call. Lee, man, you can't be on here with that hat, man. You're gonna get us cut. We're gonna get us taken off the air, man.
Hey,
what's up, Lee?
Come on,
Claudio. It's the NFL shield.
You can't have a shield on here, man. They're gonna get it off, man. I'm about to take you off, man.
I represent the shield.
Well, you're gonna represent us getting off the air because we can't get it on here, Lee.
We're Smoking Jim hiding that.
He's on the thing, man. Hey, Lee, though, you do got to take it off, man. We got taken off the air for that before, man.
Well, I'm gonna wear my Public Enemy hat or my Malcolm X hat.
There you go. I'd rather that one, man. Hey,
let me go get a white Kango.
Hey,
that's what I have on, Lee. That's what I got on, Lee.
All right, hey, Terry French. Hey, guys, good to hear you. Thanks, Terry, for tuning in, man. Appreciate it.
What's up, Terry?
Hey, but Jim, man, let's get into your Steel City news, man. I know you got a whole lot to talk about. What's on your mind, Smoker Jim?
Disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, the words you're about to hear, they represent Smokin Jim. They don't reflect my thinking, Lee's thinking, or Claudio's thinking. That being said, Smokin Jim, the floor is all yours.
That's what I told you a year ago. You don't leave the Kansas City. You can't go. draft, if the Steelers don't draft, the best cornerback I've seen since Rob Woodson and Charles Woodson. He's better than Darrell Reeves, because I don't like Aliquippa. Hey, Luther, not only is he the best cornerback in all of college football, he won the Jim Thorpe Award. Not only is he the best punt kickoff returner, he won that award. He can play 5 different positions. He can return kickoffs. He can return outside corner. He can play inside the slot. And as he gets older, he can play safety. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. He's from Iowa, so he don't have to change colors. He's already wearing black and gold. His name is Cooper the G. And here's the kicker. I've been waiting for 20 years. I've been waiting for 20 years. It would be the first white cornerback in the NFL in the last 20 years. And he's going to be not only a Pro Bowler, but he'll be a Hall of Famer. Pittsburgh Steelers draft cornerback.
Yeah, hey, Jim, is he going to be better than Jason Sehorn?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Sehorn ain't no Hall of Famer. Sehorn was a wide receiver playing corner.
All right. Hey, listen, Jason Thomas is in there. He said never draft a quarterback from the Big Ten. Okay. Listen, so is he going to be better than Joey Porter? Joey Porter, all defensive team? Come on, Jim. We got him. Quarterback really did pretty good. That's one of the places we did great in the draft last year.
Joey Porter's on pace for 9 career interceptions, and this guy may get 9 as a rookie.
Oh gosh, 9 as a rookie. Come on, Jim. Jim with all the hype again, man. Come on, man. Listen. All right, we'll see. All right, so if they don't get him as a bust of a draft, right? You said that about somebody last year, and the picks they made. 2
years ago, I said Najee Harris. It would be a bust if they didn't get Najee last year. I said it would be a bust if they didn't get Jordan Addison.
And you took an L. Broderick Jones was the right pick, and then they followed that up with Joey Porter. Those were the right picks.
You know Jordan Addison made the all-rookie team, and Broderick Jones did not.
It was biased. He should have. Did Joey Porter make it? Yes. Yes, and Broderick Jones should have made it because he should have been starting for the start of the season, Jim. You and I both know that.
He should have made it, yeah.
And like I told you, he should have been starting left tackle. But I also believe, huh? Maybe not. Who knows? But he could play either tackle. That's what's good about him. He's versatile like that. Hey, again, number to call 412-530-5063. Smokin Jim starting it already. Going with it. Listen, man. First of all, I want to give a RIP to one of my favorite actors, Carl Weathers, Rocky, Apollo Creed, Action Jackson. Man, I was sad to hear about it. He was making a comeback. He had the commercial with Gronk that was going to take place this weekend at the Super Bowl. But great actor, man. He played the heck out of that Apollo Creed role in Rocky, Action Jackson, Mandalorian, even Happy Gilmore. I didn't know he had that much comedy in him, but he definitely was a legend. I was very, very saddened to see him go, man. But we got a lot to talk about today on the show. Go ahead.
Hey, Luther. You ain't saying about Toby Keith?
About who?
Keith.
Toby Keith.
Kobe Keith. Oh yeah, I'm sad when anybody passes away, Jim. But listen, as I reclaim my time back, one of the topics we're going to get into. Listen, man, that video, I knew the Ravens were going to lose when I saw John Harbaugh dancing around, whatever he was doing after they beat the Texans. I totally don't go with the Ravens after I saw John Harbaugh jumping around like he's in a caddy, whatever he was doing, a rodeo, doing that wild dancing. You never celebrate like that. Anytime teams do, they usually lose the next game unless it's the Super Bowl. So, that's what he gets. His brother's now in the NFL. So that'll be another show. The hardball ball again, once again. We saw they had the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Now they're both in the same conference. Jim Harbaugh ran out of Michigan's back door after they're about to get hit with a bunch of sanctions. The black coach they had there that was crying, he's really going to be crying now. He done lost the recruits. He's going to be, catching L's left and right. And it's going to take a while to rebuild. So he was crying for John Harbaugh last year. He'll be crying his own tears this year. I think I don't even know he'll get a chance to see the team rebuild because they've lost so much and he didn't have a chance to recruit. John Harbaugh did all that cheating, and I told you before, they should not have been allowed to participate in the playoffs, and now they're going to hit with all these sanctions. I disagree with it, but Jim Harbaugh does what he always does, cheats, sneaks out the back door. Now he's with the Chargers, and he won't win a championship with the Chargers either. He shouldn't have got this one in NCAA. But I'm off my soapbox. Lee, what's going on, man? You got anything to say? Thanks for switching the hat, man.
I got the Kango on.
Oh, yeah, that works. That works. The NFL and all them, they done took off a couple of our shows because we had some stuff on.
Well, I was about to go off this cast and this podium and this show like Talma did in that press conference, but that's okay. Hey, what's the topic? We talking about Steelers? We talking about Arthur Smith? We talking Airbnb? What we talking about?
Listen, we're of course we're going to talk to Steelers, man. This off season, Arthur Smith. I wanted to get you guys' take on that. A lot of people were kind of upset with the choice. They thought they could have gone in a different direction. Lee, you think Todd Haley's such a great offensive coordinator, which I disagree with. You've always been critical of Tomlin and Matt Canada. I want you to go first, then we'll go Smokin Jim and Claudio if Claudio's back on the line.
Well, I think that, the Steelers should have took their time because with Airbnb coming free, I mean, every coach, Airbnb is not the only coach that conducts himself the way he conducts his business with the players and things. But Todd Haley's always going to be my guy. Ron Earhart, Chan Gailey, not Kevin Gilbert, Kevin Gilbride, the Malarkeys and the other, I forgot the other guy's name that went to Arizona. But Matt Canada, sabotaged this team. But Arthur Smith is a good pick. I studied his film as soon as he got hired, and I studied his film last night, 15 minutes of the run plays and 15 minutes of the pass plays. And the concept is a good concept for for whoever the starting quarterback is, where they got this thing called the triangle, where basically the quarterback he's going to look at his receivers. It could be three receivers, and his head's going to stay in that direction where he has three receivers over there. He's not just looking at one receiver, but they call it a triangle, where he doesn't have to really go through progressions on the other side of the field. So the side that he's looking at is probably 9 times out of the 10 the side that he's going to throw to. And that's with the play action and everything else. But the other thing with Arthur Smith, and we know about the groundwork of the Steelers, is that the Steelers, when Todd Haley came, the great Todd Haley, he tried zone blocking with Le'Veon Bell, and they wasn't successful because they're more of a power team, trap team. Then now, they implemented some zone blocking, and that's why what's his name would have been a good hire to come back. Was it Mike Munchak that left?
Yeah.
So basically now they have to get the Steelers offensive line to be a solid. Don't go away from trap blocking and power blocking, but there's basically going to be a lot of zone blocking, and I think the offense will work. I still always ask for creativity, and I studied him on his pass routes. You're going to have a lot of jumbo sets, but I believe it can be done. But that question still remains: is Kenny Pickett? Can he get it done?
That's the big question. Hey, we got Terry French was in there. He said Steelers will likely draft another offensive tackle first, maybe J.C. Latham from Alabama. And he agrees about the Ravens coach dancing around. All right. He's back in there. Artie Smith will be good. Can't judge him by his last 3 years. Got to go back when he was with the Titans. All right, Terry. All right, Jason Thomas. Arthur is trash. He had all that talent in Atlanta. It was horrible. Titans had Derrick Henry and nothing else. All right. Smokin Jim, your thoughts on this, man? What do you think about the Arthur Smith hire?
Well, first of all, let me just say that the MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson, is 2-4 in playoffs with 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 6 fumbles, and he still can't throw.
Come on, man.
Listen, I think it was a good hire because the Steelers got a quarterback that couldn't spell cat if you spotted him with C and a T. I don't know how he got that wife he got. He must have left up there, brother. I tell you what, man, the Pittsburgh Steelers lack leadership on the offense. How in the world, a year ago, you make Najee Harris the team captain? He wasn't captain at Alabama. And then this year, you make Kenny Pickett, who put Lee Allen Freer, team captain. So, I tell you what,
Come on.
Smith is somebody that don't take no bull crap. He's going to come in there. He's going to get command of that team. He's going to run a very simple offense that features the run. The Steelers got 2 good running backs. I would love to see them incorporate a fullback in there. Get Cam Hayward, brother, the heck out of here and get a real fullback in there that can block. But go to the tight end and use some big plays at the wide receiver. And he think his biggest problem, other than he can't learn a sophisticated offense, his biggest problem is small hands, small feet, and a limited form. And I think better arms on rocking chair. He can't get the ball deep. But hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't want to be great. They just want to be 8-8.
And 1. You got to change it up. It don't rhyme no more, man. We play 17. Hey, is Claudio, you still on the air with us?
Yes.
Your thoughts about the offensive coordinator.
Okay, Jason made some great points. Jim made some great points. And Lee mentioned some great offensive coordinators. But in the last 25 years or so, I think the best offensive play caller was Mike Martz with the greatest show on turf. Okay, with Isaac and Holt and Falk and, of course, Kurt Warner. Now, you put Mike Martz in the Steeler offense with Kenny Pickett, he's not going to be able to be so creative. He's not going to be able to call those kind of plays because he does not have the horses. As a baseball coach, I like to steal, hit and run, bunt, be aggressive on the base paths. But if I don't have that kind of talent, then what am I going to do? I can't push those buttons. They drafted wrong. How come an Italian guy who goes to watch his daughter perform at color guard can see that Kenny Pickett wasn't worth a first round or a second round draft pick, okay? But yet the Steelers and whoever made the pick picked him number 1. It was ridiculous. They do not have the horses. I understand Lee saying be creative. The only thing that they can do is, like Jim said, they do have a running game. They're going to have to run. If the fans are expecting Air Coryell or, the Mad Bomber Darryl LaMonica, the old Oakland Raiders, they're not going to see it because they don't have the horses to do it. And you have to understand, this is about winning, as Tomlin always says. You do not have a winner in Kenny Pickett. Go out and get Kirk Cousins or a Russell Wilson or whoever. But this kid ain't going to do it. He's a nice backup. Admit that you made a mistake. Ryan Leaf was a mistake. Couch was a mistake. Many, many mistakes out there. Admit it. One thing about the 49ers, boy, they got rid of Garoppolo. They got rid of Trey, whatever that other guy's name was. They got rid of him. Right. They got rid of him. They'll get rid of everybody. And they got Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, and look where they're at. No matter what Cam Newton says, who's lost his mind. Okay, but
we're gonna get into that.
You have to have the horses. Simple as that.
I definitely agree. You have to have the horses. It's the jury's still out on this, but I guess when I saw how I wasn't very excited about it. I thought it would. I thought they could go out get someone else that would be more exciting, more creative. We know what he's going to do. Of course, he's with the Titans. He had Derrick Henry ran for 2,000 yards. Ryan Tannehill had the best year of his career. A.J. Brown had a great year. But again, was the offense that exciting? Yeah, it was the greatest offense in Titans history. But, I didn't see much of it. I saw a meme out here, George Pickens after one game with Arthur Smith, looking like Antonio Brown saying he's done. I don't know. They're going to have to open up the book because we have two wide receivers that want the ball already. You have Deontay Johnson saying pretty much he wants Mason Rudolph back and be the starter next year. If you listen to the exit interviews after their playoff loss to Buffalo, it sounded like he wanted him back immediately. I think George Pickens also, liked the way he was able to throw the ball down the field. But when you hear Artie Smith's press conference, all he talked about was Kenny Pickett. Is there really going to be a contest? Is there really going to be a quarterback competition in the offseason? It seems like there's not going to be. I understand that Mason Rudolph is under contract. I understand that Mitch Trubisky is going to be put on the street, which he should have never been brought in. But it looks like the job is already given to Kenny Pickett. We'll see. This is it for him. This is his third year. And now you guys said he's not a winner. He has a winning record since he's been at a starter in the NFL. You could say his numbers aren't good. That's true. But he has a winning record since he's been a starter in the NFL. So, we'll see. I was hoping we'd go more creative. I thought we could bring back a Byron Leftwich. I liked his play calling at Tampa Bay. He came up under Bruce Arians. I thought that was the way to go, but they decided to go with Artie Smith. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's jump back in the comments. Again, number to call, 412-530-5063. All right, so we got there was no great offensive coordinator to come to Pittsburgh with KP as their starting quarterback. Smokin Jim, Terry, you got Terry French laughing back there. Frank Jackson said Artie sucks. Did y'all see any Falcons games? He sucks. And Terry French said he agrees with Claudio 100%.
Hey, Lou.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, again, for ones that are, trying to understand about Arthur Smith, you got it's all on YouTube, man. All these things about their schemes and how they do things is on YouTube, and they could break it down on the pros and the cons and far as personnel. But even what he done with did with Tennessee or Atlanta, one thing is with Claudio saying right now, without Mason Rudolph, the Steelers do not have a true quarterback.
Okay. Hey, we do have a caller on the line. Caller, say your name, where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is LD.
Hey, what's up, LD?
I want to start off. I have a question. Does Jim know that the Steelers make the playoffs last year?
Hey, Jim, did you hear LD?
I did. Right now, I'm out in front of this bar. This guy's staggering around and look like Patrick Mahomes Sr.
Oh, come on, Jim. Come on, Jim. That's a shame. You ain't right, Jim, man. He's going through some struggles, man. Hopefully doesn't get a long jail sentence for stupidity, But what else you got on your mind, LD? You would give Jim.
I heard a couple days ago. You guys remember Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he says he wants to come out of retirement, and guess who he wants to play for?
Yeah, the only team he said he would play for is the Steelers. Yeah, he's done, man. He's looking for another.
The Steelers.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about him playing for the Steelers?
Man, Le'Veon Bell was done 5 years ago, man. He's done. He needs to stick with his boxing career, whatever he's doing, or his rapping. He has no future. We got two great running backs here. Le'Veon Bell's trying to stay in the news. I don't know what you guys think about it. Lee?
Yeah.
They don't need him.
Yeah, there's no room for him. He's just going to be a headache. They have a good running back tandem. What's he going to – and then he's going to complain if they have a bad game. It's just another headache.
Yeah.
Is McFarland still on the team?
I would bring him back.
Of course, Jim. Jim, you would bring him back for what? For what, Jim?
Listen, number one, the guys are great. He'll catch the football. It'll be a matchup situation for you. If they need to keep your backs a little bit, he's going to come back and keep guys in shape. And don't forget, when James Harrison came back and advanced age, he still was productive for a couple years. So I would give him a shot. Why not?
Oh, gosh.
I think the only running back who came back after retirement and was more productive off the top of my head is John Riggins. He's the only one that came back that did well. I don't see – he was more of a – he had some speed to him.
You're wrong. Jim Brown came back to challenge Franco Harris.
Come on, Jim. Jim's crazy. Hey, Jim, Terry French said let Lev Bell play third string maybe. So you got one guy who agrees with you. What do you think, LD?
No, I don't think he needs to come back.
No, definitely. But one guy who is, they're talking about, Hines Ward, they're saying he might be up for a wide receiver coach. We know Jim loves Hines Ward.
I think that would be an excellent choice. That would be an excellent choice.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe he could get George Pickens and Deontay Johnson to start blocking and running after fumbles on a regular basis and not when they just get caught on tape. I think that would be good. Jim, we know Hines Ward's one of your favorites. What do you think? Bringing him back as a possible wide receiver coach.
Some of these young kids even remember Hines Ward. I'm telling you, man, if it was me, I would go after Snoop Dogg or one of these rappers. These guys would listen. They ain't gonna listen to nobody, man. These young guys today only listen if 50 Cent coach.
Oh, come on.
You, man, I would try to bring in Snoop Dogg, who got 70 players that he coached in the NFL. I would do this because they won't listen to nobody. Let your rapper. They listen to Hines Ward.
Oh, man, come on, man. I beg to differ, man. You must have just watched Snoop's movie on Amazon Prime or something, man. Listen, let Snoop be where he's at. But the coach of Houston looks like he has the teams there. And when you listen to the players, they talk about how Mike Tomlin is able to get these guys right. So, no, I think it would be a good hire. I'd like to see Hines Ward walking the sidelines, man.
Hey, Lou. Where's C.J. Stroud staying watching the Super Bowl?
Oh, see, he's about to come out, Jim. Leave him alone, man. Leave that man alone, Jim. Hey, LD, what else is on your mind, man? Who do you like in the Super Bowl between?
I just have one more point, and
Okay.
I know it's going to make Jim upset. I believe there's 9 coaches in the NFL who are black. I know Jim hates that.
Jim, do you hate that there's not black coaches?
Ask Jim, is Marvin Lewis one?
Oh, come on, man. Jim, did you hear the question from LD? Jim.
What did he say? What LD say?
You didn't hear it? He said there's 9 black coaches that are in the NFL now. I know Smokin Jim hates that. What?
Hey Jim, is Marvin Lewis one?
You laughing, Jim, but you didn't answer the question, Jim.
I think they got a couple good ones. I think they got a couple.
Out of 9, they have a couple. Just a couple, huh, Jim? Who?
Well, you like Byron Leftwich, and he got fired from Tampa Bay. You like the way he called plays at Tampa
No.
Bay.
Byron Leftwich won a Super Bowl. You know, it's not his fault that Tom Brady played till he was 50. He's a good offensive coordinator. It wasn't him. It was Brady couldn't make the throws anymore. Baker Mayfield made the same throws with the same players and got them to a playoff and a playoff victory. You know what I mean? Hey, we got Ralph Williams joining the show, man. What's up, Ralph? How are you doing?
Good, Luther. Thanks for having me on. I had to clean up here at the station here, getting done with my radio show. Thank you for having me on.
All right. We got LD on the line. LD, what else you got for us? Oh, LD, before we let you go, any predictions for the 49ers-Chiefs game, unless you have another question? LD. All right, looks like LD hung up. Hey, Ralph, so
Yes.
we'll let you jump in on this. Your thoughts about the new offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. You know, we're already giving him nicknames. Did you like the hire, and what do you think?
Well, I predicted the hire. You can ask Smokin Jim. I said it on our radio show here that I thought that they were going to sign Arthur Smith and hire him because they're starting to get committed to this power running game, and he's the only guy out there that can really do this. As far as what they want. They got what they want. Arthur Smith is coming. I think he's going to do a pretty decent job here, Luther. The question I have is if they hire Hines Ward as a wide receivers coach, is George Pickens and Deontay Johnson going to block? That's going to be the question because he's going to teach them how to block, and that's exactly why they need to hire Hines Ward.
I like to hire too. I definitely like that too, Ralph. I hope they do. Hey, we have another caller on the line. We got Sean on the line. What's up, Sean?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How's it going?
How you doing, Sean?
All right. Yeah, we're just talking about the offensive coordinator. I don't know if you were able to hear the show. Did you hear some of what we were talking about?
Yeah, I was able to hear it. I like the hire. This is why I like the hire. Some people are not meant to be head coaches. Some people are meant to be coordinators. I think this guy is meant to be a coordinator and not a head coach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think the Steelers are in the catch-22 this year. Here's why. This is my opinion. Deep down inside, I think the players, they like Kenny Pickett, but I think they know Mason Rudolph is the better passer of the two. Mm-hmm. And listening to podcasts in regards to people that cover the Steelers, a lot of people said if you go to the preseason camps the past 2 years, Mason Rudolph was the best thrower in the football. Let me clarify something. Only person that is signed to the Steelers as quarterback is Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. Mason Rudolph's an unrestricted free agent.
Right.
So he can sign wherever he wants to. I personally don't think he's going to come back because I don't think he feels he's not going to get a clear shot to be quarterback. So with that being said, the Steelers got the coordinator that they wanted, like the gentleman just said ahead of me. Now they have to make it work. If Hines Ward has come in to be a wide receiver coach, George Pickens better get his act together. Because I think Hines Ward is going to be harder on him than anybody else, especially being out there both Georgia Bulldogs.
Good point. Yeah, that's a great point you're making, Sean. But yeah, we'll see. But I was looking for somebody a little more creative. He's more old school. We know they're going to run the ball quite a bit, but we have some talented receivers and tight ends that we need to get the ball to a little more. It doesn't look like that's going to happen with this new OC. Hey, real quick, as we're almost half through, man, time is flying. I wanted to get everybody's pick about the Super Bowl, 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Sean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the Kansas City Chiefs will win by more than 10 points.
Ooh, more than 10
Mahomes, I think they're going to win by more than 10 points. I think the Chiefs are going to win by more than 10 points.
Okay.
The reason being is all year long, quietly, Kansas City's defense has carried them, not their offense. Their defense has carried them all year long.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the difference, Kansas City defense. One of the things, and look at it like this, too. 49ers really should have made it to the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And Stackhouse is and our boy Stackhouse is mentioned. In the Packers game, the Packers probably dropped 3 interceptions.
True.
The last game, the game curved on, and what do they say about defensive backs? You're a defensive back and you can't catch the ball. Dude lets the ball hit him in the helmet instead of catching it with his hand. 49ers get a 50-yard bomb on it, like within the 5-yard line. That changed the whole game. San Fran's been lucky the past 2 games. And I think their luck's going to run out this game against the Chiefs.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
I know the Raiders are not liking a team they don't like in the division and a team they really don't like that was across the bay from them. I know they don't like both of those teams are playing Super Bowl in their stadium. That's all I got to say.
All right, Sean, man. Appreciate the call, man.
Hey, Sean, you still there? Sean,
Yeah, I'm still there.
so my prediction is short and sweet because I'm just there for the shield. I think that one thing you mentioned and one thing you didn't mention is this: San Francisco has came out flat these 2 playoff games. So you said they should have lost, and if they come out flat like they did these last 2 games, it'll definitely be a nice L for them.
Yes, indeed.
Number 1 seed, they didn't play to be the number 1 seed, which really don't mean nothing in NFL like college football. But they should have exited out 2 games ago.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you brought up some good points, Sean, but I don't see a blowout. I see a very close game. I do see Kansas City pulling out with maybe a late Patrick Mahomes drive. I'm thinking something like 24-23, very close, but it comes down to the last play. I think, unlike what the Ravens did, I think San Francisco is going to be running the ball. Kansas City is susceptible to the run. I think you could run the ball on them. I don't know why the Ravens only ran the ball 8 times. I think that was a horrible game plan. Joe and Harbaugh was too busy dancing the week before to put together a competent game plan. But it's going to be tough. I don't see a blowout either way. 24-23, I'm thinking the 49ers – I think the Chiefs will edge out the 49ers. Smokin Jim, Claudio, Ralph.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Claudio. You jumped in?
Real quick, I got San Francisco 27, Kansas City 23. I think that they will – I think Kansas City's going to have – I think they're going to stumble a little bit. I don't know if they're going to have turnovers. I see Mahomes being frustrated with some different things that the offense does. He's obviously unbelievable, but I just think that San Francisco is going to come up with a good game plan and be more tighter. And I don't mean in a bad way. I don't think they're going to turn the ball over. I think they're going to have a better game plan. I think they're going to execute their game plan better than Kansas City. So I like San Francisco. And real quick, I just passed Terry French's house. Terry, I beat that, you brother. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
He saw you on the ring camera.
All right, Mason Rudolph. All right, Terry. Speaking of Terry, said Mason Rudolph is gone. There are many other teams who want a seasoned quarterback.
Hey, Lucas.
Yeah.
Jump off the line.
Okay.
one final thing, real quick. Looking at the schedule, look for the Steelers to open the season in Brazil against the Eagles.
Yes.
The reason why I'm saying that is the Pirates have a long homestead beginning the Friday. They play the Nationals. They have a long home schedule the first weekend of the NFL season. So look for the Steelers to play the Eagles in Brazil to open up this season on Friday night.
Okay.
All
right. Good call. I like that, man. Steelers in Brazil. Okay. All right, man. Will you be safe out there, man?
Yeah,
all
have
right.
a good night.
Oh, Sean. All right. Hey, let's go with Smokin Jim. I think you were next.
Hello.
Smokin Jim, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
You're real low, but yeah, I can hear you a little bit.
I think that if you look at the quarterback position, it's about even. Even Steven at the quarterback position. Both teams got great wideouts. The tight ends are Hall of Famers. I think it'll come down to the weakest link. And the weakest link in the game is that first round bust from New Ken, Sky Moore.
Oh, come on, Jim.
With San Francisco 49ers. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers in an upset. And I think this is Brock Purdy's come out party. He's making $870,000. And Patrick Mahomes is making $52 million. It's a big gap here. And I think the difference is going to be the depth of the San Francisco 49ers. That defense with Bosa and Chase Young and Warner, I think it's going to be the difference in the football game.
Okay. All right, Ralph, your thoughts?
My thoughts on the Super Bowl is this. I agree with you, Luther. It's going to be a dogfight. It's not going to be a blowout, I don't think. The only thing is, though, Kansas City hasn't scored the points that they scored when Bieniemy was their offensive coordinator. Matt Nagy's their offensive coordinator right now. They're going to have to put more points on the board in order to win this game because they haven't been putting as many this year as they have in the past. But I'm going to take the Chiefs. It's going to be a close game. I'd say probably 27-24 or 27-20.
Okay. All right. We do have another caller on the line. Caller, say your name, where you're calling from. Is this Mark?
Yes, sir.
Hey, the legend, Mark Brentley. Thanks for calling the show.
Hey, man, listen, I like I said, I don't even know how to spell sports, but I love listening to you guys because you make it entertaining, and then I like to ask you stuff that I don't understand. But
Okay.
a couple of things, I'll try to make it very quick. Number one, the reason why Mason Rudolph had such a good showing in the 3 or 4 games that he played in was because he was allowed to be a student of the game for 2 years. He rode that bench. He was allowed to get his baseball cap, turn it backwards, put some headsets on with a clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Pickett never had that. He came right from college, jumped right in like he can understand this complicated offense, and we paid for it. He had some success, but then he just couldn't, in my opinion, he just couldn't adjust all the way. And that's why Mason Rudolph was much more settled. I think he's much more strong. I think he's really a better athlete, really. I think he stands tall in the pocket, and they should be able to find a spot for him. I would hope that this year that the Steelers would also open up their camp to African-American quarterbacks, too. I said last year was the first time that they've ever had a camp where there was no African-American quarterbacks. They had one, number 5, and it was historic because they never let him take one snap during preseason. When I looked at his videos online from his college, this man can fly. He was able to throw. He had a strong arm, and I just never understood that. The second thing I like to mention is that I forget what game it was. It was a defensive back that was thrown out of the game for the Steelers, and he was suspended. I think he lost pay for the rest of the season. And somebody please tell me, why is it that Coach Tomlin can't go to bat for his players when they need it? It was not a dirty hit. It's a contact sport. And he just simply came up and hit a guy that took a little longer to get up. And I just thought that was a perfect opportunity for the coach to talk about it in his press conference and to really go to bat for that D back. And finally, the Super Bowl, I think that we are beyond sports. This is purely entertainment that has a whole lot of influence in it. I don't think it's about the game anymore, and I really think that the Baltimore game and Kansas City game, somebody had their finger on the scale, because there's no way in hell that Lamar Jackson could not have beaten that team with that man's talent and the weapons that he had. I think they need Kansas City there. I think nationally, the football, NFL, they are trying to corner the market on the best marketing tool with cornering the younger folks in with Taylor Swift watching. I believe the fireworks are going to be after the game. Don't be surprised if her boyfriend, who's at Kelsey, gets on his knee and maybe propose. Right. It will be the largest proposal, and you will see kids all over this country with her influence, and they will sell more soap during that 10 or 15 minute scene that the two of them will have. And I think we are just in a marketing phase, a marketing mode when it comes to this year's Super Bowl. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Mark. Man, yeah. Every time you call, you hit us with some bangers, boy.
That's a lot of questions there, Mark.
That's a lot, man. But we know you're going to bring it every time you call, man. It's always a pleasure. But I want to get Smokin Jim.
I'm going to let you go. Okay, good enough. I'll listen to your response. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. Smokin Jim, are you up? You still up, Smokin Jim?
Yeah. I mean,
you still up.
It made the biggest call in the history of this show, and this show is 25 years old, man. That was awesome. I agree with everything that he said. Listen, almost every quarterback in major college football is black. It's a shame that the Pittsburgh Steelers had a roster that did not feature one black quarterback. I would bring in Russell Wilson this year because it's not going to cost you any money. Denver's paying him $38 million. So all you have to do is pay him league minimum. And I would bring him in. He had 26 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions. And I agree with him. And the union, Coach Tomlin, everybody should have been on the bandwagon of Casey. That was not a dirty hit. They cost that boy, and he don't make that much money. They cost him a 4-game check. And then he got ran over by Josh Allen.
That's Amani KZ, yeah.
Yeah, Amani KZ, yeah. Yeah, listen, man. I think he got done wrong because he was making.
Yes, he did.
The guy put his head there. The NFL is kind of soft with these things now, man. They might as well start having a targeting rule. I don't know how many players got thrown out for 4 games. I know he had a couple hits that they deemed illegal, but man, to get thrown out, I think it was definitely wrong on that end. As far as the quarterbacks, yeah, I would like to see Russell Wilson get a look, but does Ciara want to come to Pittsburgh? I don't know. They went from Seattle to Denver, and we know she makes all the rules. But it would be good, but I think he's going to be way too much. I don't know where you get it. Won't cost anything, Smokin Jim. There's a lot of teams that still would take Russell Wilson, and I don't think the Steelers would, be ready to drop that amount. Why do you think he's not going to be that much? I think he's.
Denver has to pay next year in 2024 $38 million.
We'll see. We'll see. I think there's ways around it, man. The way Denver was doing them, they must have some kind of poison pill in that contract where they can get out of it. I know they're going to try to trade them. If not, they'll probably cut them and run with their young guy. But we'll see, man, about that. Lee, Claudio, Ralph, you want to weigh in on some of the questions? And Lee, come on, man. We got Terry says Swifties will be mad if KC loses.
You got that right.
Niners. Jason Thomas, 31-27 Chiefs. And here go Lee. Where's Pat Mahomes Sr. watching the game? Come on, Lee. Come on, Lee. He's out. He's out, Lee. He's out. You just gotta, he just gotta learn how to use Uber or use a limo, man. He can't be out there doing that.
Taylor Swift post his barn.
I like that one there. That's a good one.
Hey, were you guys weighing on some of the things Mark said?
Well, first of all, go ahead. I'll let Claudio talk. Go ahead, Claudio. You can go.
Oh, wait, Mark's a good man. As far as Tomlin's concerned, I'm not a fan, nor am I surprised that he didn't stand up for his player. Trying to think of everything Mark said. Again, he did have some good points. And then you know what? What I don't like about the Swift thing, I mean, that's fine. They show her that every time Kelsey grabs a pass, she acts like he discovered, penicillin or something. He caught a hey, relax. It's all show, and it's annoying after a while. But if people like her and they tune in, terrific. But I don't know if that's going. I do understand where Mark's coming from, but I don't think that's going to have an effect on the game. At least I would hope not. But you never know. So that's about it.
We know the referees do a lot of favoritism for Kansas City, man. So if it comes down to a close game, look for them to get every call.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they've gotten some favorable calls. I know we had the one game where Mahomes was running around mad, but his guy lined up where the linebacker lined up for the defense. So they had to call that game. They always get the calls, man. So if it comes down to that, I think Kansas City will get the calls. Again, I'm kind of sick of Taylor Swift. He can catch a 2-yard pass, and they show her going crazy in the booth. Come on, man. All these guys have girlfriends or wives. You don't have to keep cutting away. Get back to the game. After a while, I was like, people are making too big of it. But then I started seeing the game. I'm like, man, every 2 minutes,
Well, I agree with Mark Luther and Lee and Claudio and Smokin Jim is the fact that, it's turned into a entertainment thing and not a football game anymore. And then on top of that, too, the Kansas City Chiefs are gaining all these young Taylor Swifty people who know nothing about the Kansas City Chiefs, but the fact that Taylor Swift is involved in this. And that's exactly where the NFL is saying, hey, that's great. We can make all this money. Kansas City Chiefs are saying, yeah, we're getting publicity now from the Swifties who don't even know who the Kansas City Chiefs are. And some of them probably don't even know about football. So, it's all about Taylor Swift and her name. And that's where it is, Luther. And I agree with you, too. I'm getting tired of it as well. But, and I'm surprised it really didn't turn into a huge distraction, even more than Kelsey not playing that well.
Right. Hey, we're almost out of time, man. Kelsey's so hyped now. They're trying to say that man invented the fade. And I saw him on the pivot saying he used to go to the barbershop and point to like number 5 for the fade. Now they're calling it a Travis Kelsey haircut. Come on, man. They're taking this way too far. He didn't start that. He went to the barbershop, saw the numbers, and pointed to it. And because he's dating Taylor Swift, they're trying to say he started that haircut, man. I'm sick of it. But, Patrick Mahomes is the truth. I like the little picture there where he has
that is hilarious.
And Josh Allen on his laps, man. Listen, you guys talk about Mike Tomlin and the Steelers not winning, but think about who they've had to go after. They had to go after, at one time, the greatest quarterback of his time, Tom Brady, and now there's a Patrick Mahomes doing the same thing again in the AFC. So between those two, they've dominated the last 20 years and it doesn't look like Patrick Mahomes is stopping anytime soon. So I agree. Got to upgrade that quarterback position. Real quick, we only got 2 minutes. Lee, you've been quiet. Let me get you, and then we'll go Smokin Jim, Ralph, Claudio. Any last words?
The Super Bowl. I hear y'all what y'all talking about. What's going on with Taylor Swift and things. Like I said, the only thing I gotta say about the Super Bowl, I just feel San Francisco got off to a flat start. I think coaching wise, the head coach for Kansas City is he's the well-oiled, well-seasoned guy. So if you watch the Baltimore game, they had a nice, good set of plays they were calling, and they were highlighting their offensive players, and that's going to be a good game plan. But if San Francisco come out flat, Kansas City just got to find a way to put them away, and that's the only thing. I'm just an observer. I'm not rooting for either team, but it sounds like what y'all say the NFL is behind Kansas City like they were behind Brady when they always went Brady and Manny, the Peyton Mannings and Drew Brees matchups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And real quick, I know we got 2 minutes. Game manager. What do you all consider Purdy? Purdy. Do you consider a game manager, game changer? Thoughts? Ralph, Claudio, Smokin Jim.
Game changer.
You think he's a game changer?
I do.
I think he's a game manager.
I got a game manager because
so do I.
When they didn't have Christian McCaffrey, they didn't have Deebo Samuels.
If they don't have the weapons, they're a game manager. But I think he has the ability.
He looked like Mr. Irrelevant that day, man.
Would Kenny Pickett have brought him to the Super Bowl?
I think Kenny Pickett on that team. That team is talented. Great offensive line.
And they got a good offensive mind as a head coach, Kyle Shanahan.
He even took Jimmy Garoppolo to
yes, absolutely. Yes.
And he just plugged in Brock Purdy. Yeah, both of those guys are game managers to me, man.
And back to something Mark did say that I don't agree with about Kenny Pickett sitting down. You can have Kenny Pickett sitting down behind Marino, Montana, Elway, Warren Moon, Joe Namath, Joe Theismann, and he's still not it's still not going to improve his arm. He may know the game better. But he's not going to be able to. He's not going to have a better arm. The only way he's going to get better if he goes to Rome and they pour some of that holy water, and he still isn't going to be better. I don't care who he just isn't any good. Period.
Backward. You can't say you're a hater. I went to Pitt games with you, and you were saying the same things back at Pitt.
Yes.
Hey, Luther, the downfall of the Steelers is going to be, like you said, they need to upgrade at the quarterback position. But one quick thing. Art Rooney and Mike Tomlin stand behind Kenny Pickett, and they believe in him. How long are they going to let him stay in there if he struggles?
Well, how long's the leash on him? Exactly, Lee. How long is it? That's the question.
Really short this year.
Yes.
Jim, real quick, we got 1 minute. Brock Purdy, game manager or game changer? Looks like we lost Jim. Hey, I want to thank everybody, man. This hour went fast. For Ralph, Lee,
hey, thank you.
Smokin Jim, I'm Luther Dupree. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll check you out next time. Peace.